If you're a man in your 60s or beyond, what I'm about to share might completely change how you see your body, your energy, and your sense of manhood. For decades, I've seen men point to aging, genetics, or past mistakes as the reason behind their slow, silent decline in sexual health. But what if the real issue wasn't any of those things and instead was something far more ordinary, sitting quietly on your dinner plate? The truth is, many older men are unintentionally depriving their bodies not by doing something wrong, but by missing key nutrients that are essential for strong, dependable erections. And that quiet deficiency is slowly draining their vitality, self-esteem, and ability to feel truly connected to their partners. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a board-certified urologist and specialist in men's health. For more than 30 years, I've worked with thousands of men over 60 to help them reclaim their physical strength and sexual confidence without medications, invasive treatments, or giving in to the idea that decline is inevitable. Through decades of experience and careful study, I've uncovered a surprisingly straightforward solution: 5 common vegetables, supported by clinical evidence, that can naturally enhance blood flow, stimulate testosterone, and help restore your performance in a safe, sustainable way. In just a moment, I'll walk you through each of these powerful foods, show they benefit your body, when to eat them, and why your aging system responds so well to their nutrients. Stick with me to the very end, because I'll also reveal the one vegetable I recommend eating before bed, the one that's helped so many of my patients wake up feeling more energized, more assured, and more like themselves again. The first food I want to highlight may already be in your kitchen right now. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the notifications. I share practical, no-nonsense advice tailored specifically for men in your stage of life. And I don't want you to miss what's coming next. If what I'm saying resonates, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. And let me know what you'd rather hear. About your feedback helps me serve you better. Now, let's take a look at the first vegetable in this powerful list. These aren't exotic trends or overpriced supplements, just real, simple foods you can find at any store that, when used intentionally, can help restore the circulation, hormone support, and strength you may have thought were long behind you. Let's begin with an often underestimated but incredibly powerful root: beets. I'm reminded of a former patient, Edward, a retired school principal. He was 68 when he first walked into my office, composed, thoughtful, and clearly carrying a quiet weight. There's a kind of calm strength many older men carry, often overlooked but deeply felt. Edward was no different. His story, though personal, was a familiar one I've heard from countless men. He lived well, ate right, took his morning walks. But when it came to intimacy, something felt off. "It's like there's this numbness," he said. "I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, but it's not working down there." It wasn't shame, just confusion and frustration. What I told Edward is the same thing I'll tell you now. It's not about getting older. It's about your circulation. Erections are first and foremost a matter of blood flow. Without steady, healthy circulation, the body simply can't deliver the blood where it's needed, no matter how much desire is still there. That's where beets come in. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which your body transforms into nitric oxide molecule that opens up your blood vessels, relaxes their inner walls, and allows blood to flow more freely. In other words, more nitric oxide equals better circulation, and better circulation leads to stronger, more dependable erections. And this isn't theory. Scientific studies have confirmed that beet-based nitrates can improve vascular function, lower blood pressure, and increase oxygen delivery throughout the body. For men in their 60s and beyond, this kind of support isn't just helpful, it's essential. As we age, our natural production of nitric oxide begins to decline. That affects more than just sexual function. It can impact your energy, mental clarity, and endurance. Beets help fill that gap by giving your body the building blocks it needs to restore what time has quietly taken away. I often recommend beet juice as the quickest way to see results. Just half a glass a few times a week, is enough for many men. But if you prefer solid foods, roasted or steamed beets with a little olive oil are also great options. Some even blend them into smoothie-sparing beets with apples or carrots to make a nutrient-packed drink that boosts circulation and sharpens focus throughout the day. Edward took the advice to heart, and about 6 weeks later, he came back to my office with a fresh energy in his step. His sleep had improved, his mood was lighter, and yes, things in the bedroom had started to shift in the right direction. "I didn't expect something so simple to bring me back to life," he said. That's what happens when you give your body what it's been quietly missing. Beets might look ordinary, but they contain powerful support for the systems that matter most. If you felt yourself slowing down or feeling less like yourself, know this: your body still wants to work with you. You just need to start giving it the right fuel. This isn't a supplement. It's not some trendy shortcut. It's food, real, honest food that your body knows how to use. It works with you, not against you. And speaking of foods that are often underestimated, the next vegetable on our list is one you might associate with a cartoon sailor, but it deserves far more credit than that. For men over 60, this leafy green can directly influence testosterone levels, circulation, and overall energy. Once you understand how it supports your body, you'll likely want it on your plate tonight. If this is striking a chord with you, just drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're still here, still showing up for your health and your strength. Let's take a look at the second vegetable in this powerful lineup: spinach, nature's quiet supporter of male energy and function. When most people think about spinach, they imagine bulging cartoon arms or childhood meals they tried to avoid. But to me, spinach represents vitality. It reminds me of one of my patients, Davida, 72-year-old widower, who had recently remarried. He came in smiling, but there was unease in his eyes. "Doc," he said, "I never thought I'd fall in love again, but I have. I just don't know if my body can keep up. I want to be there for her, fully, but I'm scared I won't be." That kind of honest concern is something I hear more than you might think. Many older men carry that fear that their heart wants more than their body can offer. But in many cases, the solution doesn't come in a bottle. It starts with the food we put on our fork. Spinach is one of the most quietly powerful vegetables for men's health. It's packed with magnesium, which helps your blood vessels relax and expand. Better circulation means stronger erections, plain and simple. It also helps stabilize testosterone levels. As men age, those levels naturally decline. But spinach provides the nutrients needed to help your body maintain balance naturally, gently, without pushing it too hard. Then there's folate. This B vitamin is crucial for blood flow in the pelvic area, and studies have linked low folate levels with erectile challenges. Spinach gives you a steady supply, which in turn supports the sensitivity and responsiveness that many older men find themselves missing. Spinach also brings added benefits, reducing inflammation, supporting nerve function, and protecting the delicate vessels that keep blood moving where it matters most. I told David to just keep it simple. Add a bit to his eggs in the morning, toss some into a soup, blend a handful into a smoothie with banana and almond milk. He died in by his next visit. The change was unmistakable. His confidence had returned. He felt lighter, more energized, more engaged, not just in the bedroom, but in his life. That's what makes spinach so valuable. It doesn't shout for attention. It simply works, especially for men in their 60s and 70s who want to feel like themselves again. Almond milk, a bit of spinach, nothing dramatic. Just steady, intentional choices. When Carl came in for his follow-up 2 months later, I could tell something had shifted. His posture was lighter, his voice more assured. He smiled and said, "Doc, it's like I'm waking up. I feel present again, more in tune. And the other night with my wife, there was no stress, no hesitation. It just happened, like my body remembered me." That's the beauty of real nutrition. Not trendy fads or powders with mystery labels, but simple food, whole, natural, and effective. Spinach may not grab headlines, but it's a quiet powerhouse. Just one handful a day sends a message to your system: I care. I want to feel alive. I still want to love deeply. If you're still uncertain, I get it. Maybe you've tried before only to be disappointed. But real food isn't about quick miracles. It's about momentum, gentle, dependable progress that comes from consistency, not gimmicks. So far, we've focused on blood flow and hormone support. But what if I told you there's a vegetable that doesn't just support circulation, it helps clear the very pathways that supply your erections? A root that works from the inside out like nature's built-in detox system and has quietly fueled male vitality for generations? It's not flashy, it's not sweet, and it definitely isn't what most people think of as a bedroom food. But it should be. Let's talk about the third vegetable. Garlic, the root of renewal. I'll be straight with you, garlic doesn't sound romantic. It's strong, lingering, and not ideal before a kiss. But a story changed how I see it, and it might do the same for you. A few years ago, I met Ray. He was 74, a Navy veteran who still walked tall, but there was a weight in his eyes. He wasn't sick, but he felt distant. "Doc," he said, "my mind's sharp, but my body just isn't showing up anymore. I feel like the man I used to be is slipping away." We talked about his routine, his diet. Then I made a suggestion that caught him off guard: garlic. He laughed. "Garlic? That's what my mother gave me when I had a sore throat." I smiled. She wasn't wrong, but what she didn't know is that garlic may also help bring you back to yourself, to your partner, to the bedroom. You see, garlic contains allicin, the compound responsible for its distinctive aroma and its surprising power. Allicin helps open up blood vessels, reduces plaque in the arteries, and improves circulation throughout the body. And not just to your heart, but to the region that plays a key role in intimacy, your pelvic area. As we get older, our arteries naturally lose flexibility. Plaque quietly builds along the walls, narrowing the passageways that once delivered blood freely to where it's needed most. Garlic acts like nature's internal cleanser, gently helping to keep those vessels open and supple. And that's the core of a reliable, lasting erection. Blood that flows easily, without blockages or strain. But garlic's benefits don't stop at circulation. It also plays a powerful role in supporting testosterone levels. Research has shown that garlic can stimulate the release of luteinizing hormone, a signal to your body to ramp up testosterone production. And for men over 60, that means more drive, more stamina, and more of that quiet confidence that so often fades with time. Ray was skeptical at first, but he agreed to give it a shot. I told him to keep it simple, just 1 or 2 raw cloves a day, finely chopped and left to sit for 10 minutes before mixing it into his meals. That short wait allows the allicin to fully activate it, what makes the difference between just eating garlic and actually unlocking its benefits. We also discussed the best time to eat it. Adding garlic to dinner helps support vascular repair and hormone balance, overnight crucial hours for the body's natural recovery and testosterone production. For many men, this is the silent time when their sexual energy is either rebuilt or slowly slips away. 6 weeks later, Ray walked back into my office. But this time, his energy arrived before he did. He grinned and said, "Doc, I didn't expect much, but something's definitely changed. I've got more energy. My wife's noticed I'm more present. And last weekend, let's just say the television stayed off, and we had a great evening." That's what I want for every man who hears this: not just improved performance, but a rekindled spark. A moment where your body reminds you of the man you've always been. Garlic isn't some magic pill. It's a natural toolone that works with your body to restore what time and stress may have dulled. I often tell my patients, you don't need to reinvent yourself to feel like a man again. You just need to remove the blocks that are holding you back. And that's exactly what garlic does, starting with your blood flow and ending in the self-assurance you carry into every part of your life. Now, while garlic clears the path for blood and hormones, the next vegetable works in a different way. It doesn't clean your system, it helps activate it. Hidden inside this crisp, unassuming stalk is a natural signal your body might have forgotten how to respond toned. It may just be the fastest way to reignite your hormonal edge. Let's talk about it. Celery, the overlooked trigger for testosterone. There's a simple vegetable probably sitting in your fridge right now, tucked under leftovers or buried behind bigger groceries. pale green, watery, easy to overlook. But if you're a man over 60 feeling your energy slip, your motivation drop, and your confidence fade, this humble stalk could quietly become your game changer. I'm talking about celery. I know it doesn't sound impressive. Most of us think of celery as a crunchy garnish or something to spread peanut butter on. But what most men don't realize is that celery contains unique compounds that can gently nudge your hormone levels in the right direction. And that subtle shift can change how you feel, function, and even how others respond to you. One of my patients, George, comes to mind. He was 66, a retired football coach, tall and reserved. "Doc," he said, "I'm just not who I used to be. I don't wake up ready to move. I feel slow, heavy, and it's starting to affect everything, even in the bedroom." His lab results showed lower than average testosterone. Not abnormal for his age, but low enough to impact his vitality. He didn't want hormone therapy. "I want to try something natural first," he told me. That's when I brought up celery. Celery contains two interesting compounds, androstenone and androstenol. These are plant-based pheromones that influence how the body processes testosterone and how people perceive male energy. Believe it or not, scent plays a role in attraction and presence, and celery subtly amplifies both. Beyond that, celery is rich in vitamin K, which supports healthy circulation essential for strong erections and cardiovascular performance, especially later in life. There's more. Celery is also high in apigenin, a plant compound with anti-inflammatory effects. Animal studies suggest that apigenin helps the body naturally boost testosterone production, not by forcing change, but by supporting the environment your body needs to function optimally. George took the advice seriously. He started adding celery to his morning juice with apple, ginger, and lemon. He replaced his afternoon snacks with celery sticks instead of crackers. Nothing extreme, just simple, consistent effort. About a month in, things began to shift. He came into my office and said, "Doc, I've got my mornings back. I'm waking up with more energy." Then he smiled and added, "And my wife says I've been standing taller lately, if you know what I mean." That kind of progress doesn't come from shortcuts. It comes from giving your body what it needs to return to balance. Celery isn't flashy, but it's powerful in quiet ways. It supports your hormones, enhances blood flow, and can give you a consistent lift, not just in sexual function, but in energy, alertness, and presence. Some of my patients say they feel more confident, more grounded, even a bit more themselves after just a few weeks of adding it into their routine. Not aggressive, just more grounded, more themselves. That's the beauty of this journey, because the goal isn't to become someone new, it's to return to the strongest, clearest version of who you've always been. So if you felt out of touch with your energy or desire lately, don't ignore the little things. Sometimes it's the smallest shifts in habit that make the biggest impact. And maybe, just maybe, a stalk of celery was the gentle signal your body's been waiting for. Now, we've explored blood flow, hormone balance, and circulation. But the next vegetable is a bit different from the rest. It's not leafy, it's not watery, and it's certainly not something we associate with intimacy. But inside this sweet, crunchy root lies a potent mix of antioxidants and nutrients linked to better erections, improved fertility, and even enhanced mental clarity. You might not have seen it as a food for men's health, but after this, you'll never look at it the same way again. Let's get into it. Vegetable 5, carrots. The fertility and circulation duo. If I asked you to name a vegetable that helps your eyesight, chances are you'd immediately think of carrot. But here's something most men don't know: those same bright orange roots can also sharpen performance in an entirely different way. I'm talking about stronger circulation, healthier nerve function, and even renewed vitality in your reproductive system. Carrots might not have the mystique of exotic herbs or the hype of trendy superfoods, but when it comes to men's sexual health, especially after 60, they're surprisingly powerful. One man's story comes to mind. Frank, 71, a retired electrician with a quiet strength and calloused hands that still looked ready to fix anything. He sat across from me one day, eyes sincere, voice steady but emotional. "Doc," he said, I've been with my wife over 40 years. I love her more than ever. We still hold hands. But when it comes to the bedroom, I just feel like I'm not there anymore." He paused. "I miss feeling like her man." It hit me hard, not because Frank was broken, but because he had no idea how much was still possible. He just needed the right kind of support to awaken it. That's when I recommended carrots. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene and powerful antioxidants. These compounds help repair the fine blood vessels and sensitive nerves involved in achieving and maintaining an erection. Over time, things like stress, inflammation, and age-related wear can compromise those pathways, but carrots help restore them from the inside out. And there's more. Studies link carrots with better sperm count and motility even in older men. And while fathering children might not be on your radar, fertility is about far more than that. It's about keeping your reproductive system healthy, balanced, and responsive as the years go on. They're also rich in vitamins A and nutrients that support vascular strength and blood flow. And thanks to their fiber content, carrots help regulate blood sugar, a crucial factor, since unstable sugar levels can quietly erode sexual performance over time. Blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance are often hidden culprits behind erectile issues as men age. By keeping those levels steady, you help maintain nerve sensitivity, promote blood flow, and support hormone stability, all essential for performance and pleasure. Frank took that message seriously. He started snacking on raw carrots in the afternoon, roasting them with garlic and olive oil for dinner, and blending them into apple juice in the mornings before his walk. Within weeks, I noticed a shift. He carried himself differently. His energy felt lighter, and when he told me, "We've been close again, not just emotionally," there was something else on his face I hadn't seen in a while: pride. That's the quiet strength of real food. Not overnight, not in a single bite, but over time, with care and consistency. Carrots don't just fuel function. They nurture confidence, the kind that comes from feeling good in your own body again. For men like Frank, and maybe even for you, that's everything. You don't need to overhaul your life. Sometimes you just need to start listening to what your body's been asking for all along. Because sometimes healing doesn't come in a bottle. It grows in your backyard. Now, we've explored 5 key vegetables that support your body throughout the day, restoring energy, improving circulation, and boosting hormones. But there's one more, and I've saved it for last because it works differently. This one isn't for your breakfast or midday meal. It's for nighttime, when your body shifts into repair mode, and when the right nutrition can quietly prepare you for the kind of mornings you thought were behind you. It's simple, it's often forgotten, but it may be the most effective food on this list. Let's talk about it. Number 6, the bedtime vegetable, your final advantage. There's something powerful that happens during sleep, especially for men over 60. It's the time when your body resets. Testosterone is produced, and blood vessels begin to heal. Those overnight hours can either help you reclaim strength or slowly pull you further away from it. That's why your evening meal matters more than most men realize. And there's one vegetable I consistently recommend before bed for men who are truly ready to rebuild from the inside out. That vegetable is asparagus. One man who comes to mind was Walter, a 75-year-old retired accountant, soft-spoken, thoughtful, the kind of man who didn't easily open up about personal struggles, especially not with a doctor. But during one visit, after we reviewed his lab results and talked about his dipping testosterone, he paused. Then he said quietly, "I just want to feel useful again, like I still have something to give." One afternoon, after we reviewed Walter's labs and saw his testosterone levels continuing to dip, he leaned in and said softly, "I just want to feel like I still matter, like I still got something real to offer." That moment stuck with me. He wasn't talking about chores or errands. He meant intimacy, connection, that deep sense of purpose we all need. So I suggested something simplenet, a new prescription, or a complicated regimen. Just a small, thoughtful change to his dinner routine. I asked him to start including steamed asparagus with his evening meals, about 3 nights a week. Not boiled until mush, just lightly sautéed, maybe finished with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. It sounded too easy to make a difference. But here's the truth most people overlook. Asparagus is packed with nutrients that align beautifully with how the male body repairs and resets during sleep. It's high in folate, which supports blood flow and nerve function. It contains glutathione, a potent antioxidant that helps reduce the oxidative stress that silently damages the blood vessels and tissue responsible for sexual function. And it's rich in vitamin E, which has long been linked to hormone balance and natural testosterone support. The real power of asparagus, though, is its ability to support the body after dark. Most testosterone production happens while you sleep, especially in the early morning hours. If your body doesn't have the right nutrients in the evening, that cycle can start to weaken. And that's often when fatigue, low libido, and a slow, quiet decline begin to creep in. A few weeks later, Walter came in for a follow-up. I could tell something had shifted before he even spoke. His skin looked healthier, his posture more relaxed. He smiled and said, "Doc, I've been sleeping better, waking up with more clarity, more energy, not just physically, mentally too. It's like I've been refueled." And that, really, is the goal, not just to restore performance, but to restore life, energy, presence, a sense of readiness. Asparagus works not by forcing anything, but by gently syncing with your body's natural rhythm. It strengthens what's already there. It doesn't just get you through the night, it helps you wake up ready for more clarity, more strength, more connection. And if you've come with me this far, you followed along through the benefits of beets, spinach, garlic, celery, carrots, and now asparagus, then you might be wondering, where do I begin? How do I turn all this insight into something lasting? That's what we'll talk about now. Conclusion. If you're still here, I want to speak directly to you, not as a doctor, but as someone who spent over 30 years walking alongside men in your shoes. I've seen what aging can do to a man's body and, more importantly, to his spirit. I've also seen what simple, consistent, intentional choices can do to bring that spirit back. You've just learned about 6 vegetables, nothing exotic, nothing trendy, just real food. Each one plays a role in restoring what so many men over 60 think they've lost for good. Beets, the blood flow booster, helping arteries open again. Spinach, the energy green that quietly supports testosterone. Garlic, the ancient healer that clears vessels and strengthens hormone signals. Celery, the humble stalk that helps testosterone rise and confidence return. Carrots, protecting nerves and fertility, helping men reconnect with their sense of self. And asparagus, the one that works while you sleep, rebuilding from the inside out. These aren't gimmicks, they're tools, and what you build with them could change how you live every day going forward. Because this isn't just about sex, it's about identity, purpose, feeling like yourself again, showing up, truly showing up for the people who love you. You don't need to make every change overnight. Start small. Toss spinach into your eggs, juice a beet, snack on carrots, roast asparagus for dinner. Just choose one. Let that be your beginning. Because you're not out of time. You're right on time. And your next chapter, it could be your most meaningful yet. If any part of this message moved you or made you feel seen, please consider liking this video. Share it with someone who might need it. A brother, a friend, a father. One conversation can change everything. And if you'd like to support more messages like this, consider leaving a comment below or even a small donation. It helps keep this mission alive and allows more men to find the support they need. Your journey doesn't end here. It starts here, and I'll be right here walking with you. You've just explored 6 deeply effective vegetables, not pills, not quick fixes, and definitely not trendy gimmicks. Just real, everyday foods that work in harmony with the body of a man over 60. Each one has its own role to play in helping you reclaim strength, energy, and intimacy you may have thought were gone for good. We began with beets, those rich red roots that naturally boost circulation by relaxing your blood vessels and increasing oxygen delivery. They may not seem exciting, but their effect is real. I've seen men go from doubtful to waking up with stronger, more dependable erections after just a few weeks of adding beet juice to their morning routine. Then came spinach, a powerhouse for testosterone, stamina, and presence. You don't need to hit the gym to feel masculine. Sometimes strength is having the energy and clarity to be fully present for the people who matter. Spinach supports that quietly, with no side effects, just steady nourishment. Garlic often catches men by surprise. It's been used in kitchens for generations, but few realize it can help reduce plaque buildup and encourage testosterone production. I've called it nature's restoration. Tool-strong, straightforward, and reliable. Men who give garlic a chance often find more than just better function. They find a renewed sense of pride. Celery flew under the radar for most, but it's more than just crunch, it's a confidence builder. It doesn't just help blood move through your body, it helps your body rediscover hormonal balance, which can shift how you move through your day. George, the retired coach I mentioned, stood taller not only in posture, but in how he carried himself emotionally. That's what real balance does. Then there were carrot shumble, familiar but more potent than most expect. They protect the very blood vessels and nerves that support your performance. They help you stay in control of your body, and that sense of control begins to open doors in every area of your life. Finally, asparagus, the quiet nighttime ally. A simple stalk that helps you recover while you rest. It supports hormone production, heals delicate tissues, and improves sleep quality. That one bedtime habit has helped many men rediscover mornings filled with strength and vitality they hadn't felt in years. Now, let me speak to you man to man. Maybe what you've heard today gives you hope, or maybe you're unsure, hesitant to believe, and that's okay. I understand. You've spent decades hearing that aging means decline, that slowing down is just the way it goes. But that's not the full story. I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even into their 80s, who've turned their lives around not with magic, but with small, consistent steps that honored the wisdom of their bodies. They didn't chase fads. They gave themselves time, patience, and real nourishment. And you can too. To move forward, you don't need a massive overhaul, you just need a beginning. One simple change. Maybe it's stirring some beets into your morning smoothie, or tossing spinach into your eggs. Maybe it's chopping up a clove of garlic to mix into your dinner. Just choose one vegetable, take one small action on one ordinary day, and let that be the spark that shifts everything. Because this isn't only about intimacy, it's about identity. It's about feeling valued, wanted, awake in your own life again. It's about showing up fully not as a man who's disappearing into age, but as someone who still has purpose, passion, and something powerful to offer. Your body hasn't checked out, it's just been waiting for you to nourish it with what it's quietly needed all along. These 6 vegetables, they're more than just food, they're a set of tools. And with them, you can start building what might just become the most meaningful, most energized chapter of your life. Now, the next move is yours, and I hope truly that you take it. Not for me, but for yourself. Because your story isn't finished. It's just getting interesting. If anything in this message struck a chord with you, even a single line made you feel seen or inspired, go ahead and give this video a like. It helps others, men like you, discover this information when they need it most. And if you've got someone in your life, a friend, a brother, a father, who could use this message, share it with them. Sometimes the right words at the right time can make all the difference. I'd love to hear from you too. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 6 vegetables you're going to start with, or what part of this conversation spoke to your heart. I read every single message, and your stories remind me why this work matters so much. And if you believe in this mission, this space for honest, supportive health guidance for older men, and you'd like to help it grow, consider leaving a small donation. It keeps this channel going and brings this message to even more men who are ready to reclaim their strength. This is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning. Let's keep walking it together.